guys, what's going on? Braden here with Spring Fever. We're back this week with another tech tip. Now, we're going to continue this week with turkey vocalizations. We started this a couple weeks ago and I kind of got sidetracked. The weather got nice and there was an opportunity to get out and do a lot of scouting and get out to the range to make sure our guns were sighted in. So we kind of got sidetracked from vocalizations. But this week we're going to continue with that. Now, the vocalization we're going to look at today is the Kee Kee. And I think it is probably the most overlooked turkey vocalization in the spring hunting woods. And the reason why is because it's mainly categorized as a fall hunting call. And most spring hunters don't ever use it or even think about using it. And some may not even know that it's even a call that could be used. And the concept of it just being a fall call is a myth. And, you know, this idea that turkeys only make noises or vocalizations at certain times of the year is just wrong. Now, it's true that they may not do it as much, but they still do them. And, you know, just like gobbling, gobblers will gobble all year long. Now, its peak season is in the spring during its mating season, but they do gobble in the fall. I've sat in the tree stand many times in the fall, and I've heard turkeys gobble. So, it's just kind of a myth that the Kee Kee is only used in the fall. Now, what is the Kee Kee? That's the big question. A lot of people don't even know what it is. The Kee Kee is actually a whistle. It's a high pitch call that it's a gathering call. Okay, so that's the reason why it's used a lot in the fall. And fall hunting tactics are to go in, bust up a flock, and then they'll use a Kee Kee, yelping, and other calls to help regroup that flock and then call those birds into them. So this can help a lot in the early season because birds are still flocked up quite a bit in the earlier seasons. If your season's stretch into March or something like that, and even the beginning of April, you still see several larger flocks of birds because they're in a big group. They haven't quite busted up yet. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't use it all through the spring. I ended up killing my bird last spring in May, and one of the calls I used was a Kee Kee. Now, many of you have probably heard of the Kee Kee run. That's separate from the Kee Kee. It's the same thing, except for the Kee Kee comes first. The run part is the yelp on the end. Now, as I said, it's kind of a locator call. It's a gathering call, and it's just to say, hey, I'm here. This is where I'm at. I'm safe. This is a cool place, and you know I try to use calls that replicate that because I want them to think it's a safe place and to come hang out with me, group up with me. So that's the reason why I like to throw in the Kee Kee. The other thing it does is it provides you an opportunity to kind of mix up your sounds. You know, I think a lot of guys get stuck in a rhythm and they go in there and they yelp and they do a 4 or 5 note yelp, and it's just that same thing on repeat. Yelp, 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 yelp. That's just not realistic. If you've heard spring turkeys, they're making all kinds of noise, right? So you want to be able to mix it up and make it sound more lifelike, real live hen, instead of just one hen over there, just yelp, 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 yelp. You want it to have a mix-up. By being able to throw a Kee Kee in, you can mix up those calls, and you can even throw them right into a yelp sequence, yelp a couple times, Kee Kee, and move on. Now, the Kee Kee is typically a 2 to 3 note, but it don't have to be. It can be a 1 note Kee Kee. And that's sometimes what you can throw into your yelp sequence. Now, to do this, you can do this on box calls, you can do them on pot calls, it doesn't matter. I personally think the easiest thing to Kee Kee on is a diaphragm call. Even if you can't, or you're not proficient in using a mouth call, typically you can still Kee Kee because it doesn't sound like a normal turkey sound. It's a very high-pitched sound, and all you have to do is apply pressure and blow pretty hard, and you get that high-pitched squeal, which we associate with a turkey whistle. So, to do this, I'm going to use this 3-reed ghost cut, okay? Now, in order to do this, I'm going to put this up in the top of my mouth, and I'm kind of push it forward a little bit, and I'm going to apply pretty hard pressure with my tongue up against the latex, and that pressure is going to be constant, okay? Now, in the previous mouth call videos, we've talked about dropping your jaw when you're trying to get that yelp, and when you drop that jaw, that's what gives you the rasp on the end of the yelp. With the kee kee, there is no rasp. It's a high pitch, it's like a whistle. Now, what you want to do is that tongue pressure stays constant. So you're not dropping your jaw, you're keeping that tongue pressure constant through the whole thing. And what you're going to do is you're just going to open your lips and shut your lips to start and end the call. And you kind of want to say P, 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 okay? That gives you the 3-note sound. And again, it's high pitch. Let's give this a try. Okay, that's the 3-note kee kee. P, 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 okay? Now, sometimes I like to throw in a kee kee in my yelp sequence just to kind of mix it up and make it sound more realistic. Okay, that gives you some different sounds. Now, give it a try. Practice with your diaphragm call. Like I said, constant tongue pressure, keep the pressure solid. Don't remove your tongue from that latex, and you're just going to open your lips like P, 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 but don't move your jaw and shove that air through, and that's going to give you that high-pitched whistle. Now, I think it'll help. It's something else to add to your arsenal and make you sound more realistic in the woods. Okay, so that's your tip for this week. I know there's a lot of seasons open right now. Indiana's one of the later ones. We get to start next week, so looking forward to that. But those of you guys that are out there, good luck. I hope you're laying them down. And remember, put your next long beard on speed dial with the Spring Fever custom call. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button at the end of this video. See you guys next week.